Hey, it's Horner. Hey, thanks for your patience while I'm out. Today you probably went through and you watched this video and you started on the look activity with the Look and Listen graphic organizer. I see some of you were even able to get it completely done, which is fantastic. So if you did go ahead and finish that and you've submitted it here, you can go ahead and you'll want to get started on activity 2.1.4. There's a pretty big section here in 2.1.4 of different blood tests and some things like that. So let me just kind of take you through some of the things that you can do so you can go ahead and get ahead. Do know that you'll be able to use the notes that you take on a quiz on Monday, and that quiz will happen the last 30 minutes of class. So make sure you take the notes so that you can use those on your quiz on Monday. If you click on the note-taking checklist, you'll see that this will come up, and this is routine testing that they do in a lab. So I know anytime you go to the doctor, sometimes they'll take blood and they'll do a CBC, or complete blood count. They'll do a lipid panel. They'll do a BMP, which is a basic metabolic panel. So you want to take notes on those, and then there's a section where you'll go into Charlie's patient portal and you'll take a look at those results. So I wanted to show you kind of where some of these sections are and what you should be taking notes on. So if I go to the CBC part here, you'll see that it talks a little bit about the different types of blood cells and other things that they'll take a look at when they do that. So you'll want the term and the definition of those. And then there is a table here, and you'll want to research and see what values are low and what values are high for white blood cells, red blood cells, hemoglobin, hematocrit, and platelets. And then it'll give you some examples of things here so you can kind of see what to do. There's a check for understanding if you want to do it. And then when you're all done, it will take you to the next one, which is the lipid panel. It will go through and talk a little bit about heart disease and how you might be at risk. So you'll kind of see that. And then it goes into the two different types of cholesterol, LDL, or low density lipoprotein, and high density lipoprotein. Once you have those in, you might write down some of the foods that are high and some that are high in saturated, and those that are high in unsaturated fats. So you can see that. This is a really good graphic about the cholesterol model and some things that are there. And you'll also see it goes through the cholesterol test, and it does explain to you what the different levels are for total cholesterol, LDL, and HDL, and you'll definitely want to have those in your notebook. Not to confuse you, but to go back to this let's run a few tests, you'll see at the very beginning it does show you what a red blood cell, platelets, a white blood cell, and plasma looks like again. So you might want to be able to, well, you will want to take notes on those and then what they do. This, in order to reveal the answers, it says click to reveal the answers. You'll notice that when you click, that really has to be kind of on that little object itself. So if you click here, you won't see anything. If you click here, you'll be able to see what's there, and then you can listen to what it says. Same thing with the white blood cell cytoplasm, and then it'll kind of fade that. You can isolate it so you can see it, and then you
white blood cell cytoplasm.
You can hear it say it, I guess, for a lack of a better term. And then if you click on the info button up top, it'll go through and it will give you some more information. So you can also turn that off. So I will turn that off, isolate. just kind of go back and reload that if you want to. After you do the lipid panel, there's the basic metabolic panel, and that includes glucose, electrolytes, and BUN, which is blood urea nitrogen, and creatinine. And so you'll be able to take a look at what those are. There's another check for understanding there, several questions that you can go through. At that point, you'll want to go to the results RN, and you'll see that you'll have access to Charlie Nowak's patient portal, and you can review her exam results. So remember, you do have your patient history report that you started back in Activity 2.1.1, and you will want to update that as you go through. And then that really is it. There is a conclusion there if you want to take a look. So for people that end up finishing this, and we have a little bit of time on Friday, for fifth period, I know some of you have not been in since Monday. You probably came back either Wednesday or Thursday, and you have not been able to do the temperature and the blood pressure and those types of things. So we will have you do that on Friday. And then once you're done with all that, you can actually practice this phlebotomy thing, which is kind of cool. And the instructions for that are here. This is all about drawing blood. There's a fake arm that we can use so that you can go through and do that. And there's a great little video on how to draw venous blood using a vacuum tube. So that will be that'll be the thing that is just a little extra if you want to do on Friday if you have everything else done. There's a microscopic analysis of blood. You'll see that it tells you you'll use a microscope. We're actually not going to do that. Instead, you will want to use the link for the blood slides. And when you open that up, you'll see the normal blood smear. And so you'll see all the red blood cells, and then you'll see some white blood cells that are in there too. And then a blood disorder where you've got some other things going on, and we'll talk about those so that you kind of know what that's about also. Hopefully you'll have a great day. I appreciate all of you, and I will see you on Friday.